Are you freaking out? I'm freaking out. It's a mid-year freak out.
My little Milky Way, shining where the dark can't stay. Don't say much. I hear you in the quiet,
Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I'm Lily and this is Lily in the library. And today we're going to be doing the mid-year freak out tag challenge thing. What? I haven't done this in a couple of years, mainly because I think I did it the first year I was on BookTube, and then the next year I wasn't filming anything. How many years has it been? I don't know. I'm doing it this year. That's all we need to focus on, right? Do I know who created this challenge? No, but I always see it every year. If I can find out who created it, I will link it. I actually just watched somebody do it, or I saw somebody. I don't know. Everybody's uploading it, and I want to make sure I do it this year. I don't want to be left out. Let's get into it because it's a pretty quick tag. I want to run through this as quickly as I can, and hopefully we can edit this and upload it this week. That would be great. If Lily, please work on that. Please do that. Thanks. First question is the best book of 2026 so far. This is difficult. Let me get my reading journal out. Okay, this is my reading journal. It is not a fancy Archer and Olive or notebook therapy journal. We are trusting the good old Amazon with a little ring binder here. Might I get a better reading journal in the future? Possibly. I did like the one that I had last year, but I didn't utilize it hardly at all. I wasted so much time on it, if I'm honest. But this year, I am utilizing my journal pretty well. I am pretty happy with it. Don't know if it's going to last me all year, but based off of how I'm using it, I might spend a little bit more money on a journal for next year. We'll see. We'll just see. We'll just see. Anyway, what I wanted to show you is my 5-star reading page. So I have already had technically 28 5-star reads. Two of them are missing on here. I didn't print them out for some, who knows. Okay, listen, I'm doing my best. I'm keeping the reading journal. Calm down. I have 28 5-star reads. Of those 28 reads, I would have to say one of the standouts is An Expanse of Blue. This is by a Hawaiian author. I am not the best with pronouncing my people's names, and I will be out here sounding it out like Kaukanilehua. I will be butchering it. It's been a long time since I had to read these names on a regular basis. So forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, sister. But this is a standout read for me. It is an ARC. I have yet to buy the finished copy yet, but I annotated the crap out of it. I loved this book so much. Oh my god. Another standout for me. Ironically, most of my standout books I read in May. I do have some that I read earlier in the year that I'm not going to pull out because they are buried in my red shelf, but I do want to talk about these. Also, In the Lives of Puppets. Yes, I have the French version. No, I don't want to talk about it. I'm kidding. I actually used to be pretty good speaking French. And then I stopped speaking French for a long time and I lost it, but I saw this edition on Pango and I couldn't not get it. It's beautiful. I've already read the book. I don't necessarily need it in English. And what this is like the only book I think I own that's in another language. And I just love French things. I love the French language. It's beautiful. Why am I spending so much time talking about this book right now? That's not what you're here for. That was another great book. Also, People Watching was great. I was so ecstatic to score this copy on Pango. Thank you so much. Very good book. Such a cute little romance. I love that even though there are little miscommunications, it's quickly nipped in the bud. I absolutely love that. Japanese Gothic is another standout of the year for me. Oh my gosh. I think this is going to be a contender for book of the year, like overall, period, not even just for the first half. I absolutely love that book. That book has my heart and soul. Lady Tremaine is another one, and also Bride as well. Those were both great books. The Boland Trader, amazing. Oh, To Cage a Wild Bird. Such good books. Also, The Girl with a Thousand Faces was quite a surprise. I did not think it was going to be a 5-star read for me, and I just loved the hell out of that book. But I think if I'm going to say my favorite book of the year so far, I think it's going to be Japanese Gothic. I loved this book so much, and it just was so profound to me. Like, this and An Expansive Blue were just such profound books to me in an inexplicable way. Expansive Blue is a little bit more of like a coming of age, so that one makes a little bit more sense that it would be hard hitting. But this is just a work of fiction. I mean, of course, there are some like mythology, folklore, and real things woven into it, but I cannot I have no words for this book. If I gave 6 stars, it would be a 6-star book, but this if you have not read Japanese Gothic and you like slow, kind of weird timelines and getting a bunch of pieces and then they don't make sense until the end, you'll like this book. I would love to see this adapted as a movie. Kylie Lee Baker, please, please push for this to be a movie because I think, honestly, I know there's people that don't really care or haven't really cared for this book. I think this would be a better movie than a book. But that being said, I still absolutely loved this book. Like, oh my God. I desperately want to get is it the Evernight edition? Or there's some other edition of it that I want. Like this is just the artwork copy, but it is beautiful. It is a stunning edition and it is signed, but I would love to get just another edition. I want to get every edition of this book, basically. I loved it that much. Okay, moving on to the next question, which is what is the best sequel you have read? I don't think I have read a sequel like outside of manga, and I am currently reading three series, and that is A Sign of Affection, Spy Family, and The Summer Hikaru Died. If I'm gonna pick one of those 3, because literally I'm pretty sure that's the only books that I've read that are sequels, I would have to say but they're all so good. Okay, if I have to pick one, The Summer Hikaru Died because it's just so freaking weird and I never know what's going on in that book. Question number 3, a new release that I have not read but want to read. The list is endless. Probably gonna go with Caught Up and Game On by Navessa Allen. I did read Lights Out last year, and then I just have not gotten around to Caught Up, which is the second book, and Game On came out this year, and I would really like to get those read this year. What is my most anticipated read of the second half of the year? I'm going to keep it very real. I have no idea. I have been absolutely trash at keeping track of my upcoming releases. I actually put a spot for it in my reading journal and have not filled it out at all. Like, I think there's one book, and that was in March. And I'm pretty sure it was Game On. Biggest disappointment of the year. Let me again look at my reading journal. I find this is kind of a hard question for me to answer because I don't often have like 5-star predictions or place a ton of weight on what I'm going to read. And I read a huge mix of like older books and newer books, whatever's buzzy at the moment, but also books that I just genuinely want to read. So, if we're talking about books that were released this year, I believe The Mad Wife was released this year, and I was kind of disappointed. I did end up giving it 4 stars, but I was just disappointed in the direction that it went. Odessa was another one that was released earlier this year, and again, I gave it 4 stars because the book was good. It just wasn't it didn't meet what I had hoped for. Another book I was disappointed with, but it's not necessarily like the biggest disappointment because I had high expectations, but I wasn't hyping this book up to myself, and that was Bodies of Work. That was a 1 star. It fell super flat for me. I just did not enjoy my time with it. Another book that disappointed me, but wasn't necessarily like the biggest disappointment of the year for me so far would be Night Shoot. And it was disappointing because the book was kind of trash, but the author is an author that I have read for before and didn't love his work. And it makes me really sad because I really wanna love his writing because everybody talks about how great his writing is, and I just can't get into it. I think I might read one other thing from him and see if I read another book and it's still, like, 3 stars or below, I'm not gonna worry about trying to read him because it's just not working out. But I don't really have too many things that were, like, super disappointing, just like the book just didn't go in the direction that I had hoped to, so it was a little bit of a letdown, but it wasn't a bad book. Question number 6 is biggest surprise of the year, and that would have to be Giving Bride 5 stars because what? Me? Like a book about werewolves and vampires. And not just like it, but love it. Love it so much that I borrowed it from the library and after about 3 or 4 chapters, immediately knew that I wanted to annotate this book and bought it off Pango. Like, I've never bought a book so fast. That was a huge shock to me, and had I read the sequel to it, it probably would have been the best sequel that I've read so far this year, but it's still languishing on my shelf, I'm sorry. I am who I am. Next question is favorite new author. Who is the author of To Cage a Wild Bird? See, I'm so hesitant to say I have a favorite, like a new favorite author, because I like to read a lot of a catalog before I say someone is a favorite. I know Helena Bonham Young is someone that I absolutely love, but I've only picked up two of her books so far. I do love her writing style, I love her stories, but I am hesitant to say that she's a favorite author because I've only read two books from her. Same thing with like TJ Klune. I read one book of his. I absolutely loved it. Don't get me wrong. And The Lives of Puppets had me rolling on the floor. I was crying. So many emotions were felt with that book. It was such a great story. But can I call him my favorite author if I've only read one book for him? So I don't think I've discovered a new favorite author just yet this year. Next question is my newest fictional crush. This is another one that I don't really get too much into because I don't often have like the book boyfriend situation. I mean, back in the day, sure, maybe like when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I definitely had a huge like Christian Grey, but I feel like he was everybody's book boyfriend. He was a big hope. Kaz Brecker. Oh my god. Like my heart. But I will say that I absolutely loved Vale in To Cage a Wild Bird. Like, oh my. I don't know. That was just a very good time. The next question is newest favorite character, and I want to say it's gonna have to be Misery from Bride, or what is his name? The guy from In the Lives of Puppets. I can't Vincent, I think, but also Nurse Ratchet because ma'am, that little nurse robot had me cackling. Oh my god, I freaking loved her. A book that made me happy. Again, In the Lives of Puppets. That book made me so incredibly happy. I cannot even explain to you. Like, it's a 5 star for a reason. People Watching also made me very happy. It was such a sweet story. It was so good. But there are two other books that really take the cake, and that is the first few volumes of A Sign of Affection. I'm going to lump them all together because it's just one ongoing story for me, and it is so beautiful. It makes me so happy and so just like this is like the kind of romance that my heart needs. I freaking love how wholesome this story is. How Lucky Am I made me so happy. That book is so emotional and so beautiful and just everything I needed in that moment. The next question is a book that made you cry, and I've actually had a few. Japanese Gothic had me crying just a little bit at the end. It was just a little sad. In the Lives of Puppets had me tearing up. It was oh my god, it just really touched my heart. Like this I can't sing this book's praises enough. People Watching made me cry. The ending definitely had me crying a little bit. An Expanse of Blue also had me tearing up. It was so good. Such a good book. And there was also How Lucky Am I? That made me sob. Like, oh my gosh, that book really touched me. Like, it just made me so incredibly happy and not necessarily sad, but definitely crying. I even cried a little bit at the end of To Cage a Wild Bird. And also, I wouldn't say I cried, but I definitely got teary eyed for The Merge. The next question is the most beautiful book you have received or purchased this year. And I do have a Fairy Loot subscription and a Limicrate subscription. So those books are almost always very beautiful. I will say a top contender is The Wicked Sea. That was an absolutely stunning edition. But I think my favorite edition, like my favorite book that I've gotten this year, the one I think is, I don't know if this is like the most beautiful, but I think because this book means so much to me at this point and I loved it so much, it's In the Lives of Puppets. I love it, okay? I love the sprayed edges. I love the naked hardback. It's just I don't know, it's just so beautiful in my opinion. And the last and final question is books I need to read by the end of the year. I don't really have a ton on my list because all of the books that I own are books that I should read by the end of the year, even though at this point that is going to be impossible. I will say the Lights Out, or what is it, Into Darkness trilogy. Like I said, I need to finish that trilogy by reading Caught Up and Game On, and I would like to get those completed by the end of the year. I would also like to read, I believe I have one or two other Helena Bonham Young books on my shelf at this time, and I would like to read those as well. I would also like to read Starside and Stormbreaker. Those are two new releases that I'm pretty anticipated for. I would also like to read We Who Will Die. I have heard nothing but good things about that book, and I definitely want to get that read as well as Weaving Shaw. Aside from that, all of the books that I own, I would like to finish Wuthering Heights. Like, I have so many books on my Goodreads currently reading that need to be finished. I counted the other day and there's like 28 books. Should I do a vlog where I just focus on reading all of those books or DNFing them? I did DNF one the other day because I'm not going to read that book. Every time I look at it in my Libby, I'm dreading picking it up. And it's been almost a year because I started reading it last year in October and it's almost the end of June now. I think it's time to let it go. I don't think I'm going to pick it back up, so I went ahead and DNF'd it. That's going to do it for this mid-year freakout tag. I would love to know and the answers to these questions for you, any of them or all of them if you want to put them in the comments below. And if you have any questions or comments on anything, any of the books that I mentioned, please leave a comment. If you have nothing to say, but you made it all the way to the end and you'd like to leave a comment to support and help the algorithm, just leave like the sunshine emoji or like a crazy emoji. I don't know. Just leave the sun. It's fine. Just leave the sun. That's gonna do it for me today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.